Okay, so what I've done is copied the subsystem lab and I've created this new lab 19. So I'm going to show you how to incorporate further classes into this subsystem. So if we start by looking at the basic tremolo header, you'll see here we've got the class definition here, the constructor and our methods. So if we follow a similar pattern, we can create any audio effect or a class for an audio effect we want. So we're going to do a simple gain class. So what we can do is let's just use this as a template. Let's go file, a new header, and we'll call this basic gain .hpp, and hey presto, it's done some of the work for us, but we're just going to fast track in. So we're going to include maths. We're going to call this gain block. We're probably going to need it to have a gain value. So we need constructor gain block. We're going to have process set gain, target gain. We're not interested in depth. So that's our basic gain. Save that. If we again use tremolo as an example, let's just use this source and file, new source, and we're going to call this basic gain.cpp. Again, so what we're going to need is the header, basic gain, going to include maths. This is going to be now gain block, which we're going to initialize to 1. We want this to be gain block process. This is the sample that it's going to process. So we want the value just to be multiplied by our gain, like so, and it's going to return the process sample. Now we also gain block set gain. This is our target gain. So gain, target gain. We don't need that anymore. So that should be our class definitions for a sample basic gain. So I'm just going to save that. Go to audio process.cpp. Here's where we include the effect itself. So basic gain, gain block. So we need to create the object. So we're going to create a gain block and we're going to call it my gainL. There we go. And we're going to have one for R as well. Okay, just for now, let's just compile that. Let's see if everything's okay. Oh, and if without if basic gain. Oh, okay, right. Let's just go back there. Maybe 2 of those. Yeah, okay. Okay. Go back to audio process. So we've created the 2 gain objects. Here on this update objects call, this is where we can set different coefficients as they come in. So if we wanted to, in the current audio subsystem, coefficient 1 and coefficient 2 is kind of an XY slider. It's derived from the LCD, so we could set the gain based upon coefficient 1 or coefficient 2. Ideally you want to set up your own coefficients and your own areas on the LCD that correspond to those coefficients. But what's of interest is down here in audio process. This is where we'd process the actual audio. So I've already set the default gains to unity, so what we should be able to do is audio out. These are floating point values now, so this will be my gain L dot process. If we process audio out, then this current audio value will get multiplied by the unity gain and the value will get placed back into audio out. And we want to do the same for the right, and that's pretty much it. So obviously let's just compile that and make sure everything's all good. Yeah, so if you, for example, let's go and look at the FreeRTOS. Look at one of the tasks in FreeRTOS. We will see that in one of these tasks, this is where the touch screen gets red and the values get placed into these coefficients. So if you create yourself some new coefficients, you can obviously with scaling you could get gain values going between 0 and 1 or 0 and 2, etc. And then this is where update objects gets called. You can set here the gain values. So here we'd have my gain L dot set gain. So just to get this to compile, we'd say OK, something like this, and then we'd have my gain R set gain again. This is going to make the left and right gain change together. Alternatively, if you had something like 1 minus coefficient, then you could get sort of a left-right pan occurring. Now, the complexities of these objects, you could create, what you should do is create a header for every audio effect that you want to incorporate. Think about its attributes and the processing that you need that's involved in that audio object, and then incorporate the CPP. So in this case for the tremolo, it's the actual tremolo algorithm here. So you want to incorporate things like chorus, flange, filtering, etc. Should be relatively straightforward for you to be able to do that.